Hey gang, I am back in the shop working on the Camaro. Actually, I'm still in the shop from when I installed my serpentine drive from the last video. I'm still here. Now it's time to install the wiring harness. I got this standalone wiring harness from PSI. I have their, psiconversion.com. And they offered a complete standalone wiring harness for the LS7. And so I went on there and I clicked on the down, the pull down menu and clicked off the various things that I was using. And a few weeks later, this arrived in the mail and it looks really good. I opted for the optional covering. You don't have to have that, but I figured it looked good and it wasn't that much money extra. So I got that. And I also had them add the flexi fuel option. So maybe someday I will be able to run this on ethanol or E85 and we'll see what kind of numbers we can put down with it. But anyways, before I install this, I have to finish installing my carbon fiber firewall cover. So let me flip my camera around and show you that. So this is a carbon fiber firewall cover from Anvil. Out in California. It's a gorgeous piece. It weighs nothing, and I thought it would jazz up the firewall and make it look really nice. It fit right on. I had to do a little bit of trimming for my master cylinders because of their location. I mean, I suppose if you had a stock car with the stock stuff that it would all just bolt on here directly. But because I have that, it was not a direct bolt on. I had to trim it a little bit behind there, but you can't really see it. And then because I have this LS7 pushed back as far as it goes, I had to trim it slightly there. But anyways, no big deal. So my plan for installing it is to use these nutserts or threaded rivets. So I'm gonna put a couple of those in there, fasten that on, and then I need to proceed with putting a hole through the firewall and the firewall cover to bring my new wiring harness through. So first up is the firewall cover. Okay, carbon fiber firewall cover is installed. I call that a win. It looks great. Really happy about that. It is one of the few things I'm going to have on the car that's purely an appearance item. It's not a performance item, but it's something I wanted. So here we go. All right, next up is the wiring harness. The directions say to lay it out beside the car and sort of plan out where everything goes and decide where you're going to drill a big old hole through your firewall. So that's what I'm going to do now. This is a much simpler wiring harness than my race car has, which just has a 4-cylinder. You think it would be, that would be the less complicated. This one clearly has less wires than that one. So I don't know, maybe something to do with the direct injected engine versus LSV8, I'm not sure. But yeah, it looks pretty straightforward. I guess now I just got to plan out where I'm going to drill the hole. Okay, so laying the wiring harness out, kind of, you know, not plugging everything in, but getting an idea. I think to give me the most variability, most options on the inside of the car, where the ECM, there's the ECM. You see, I don't have any of my vintage air conditioning system yet. I don't know where all that goes. So I have to be able to have some options where that's going to get mounted and the fuse box and everything. And so I think that I should try to keep it, I should try to get the hole for this grommet as close to the center of the car as possible, because then I can go that way with it, or I can go all the way this way with it, this kind of thing, because I do have all this to work with. So I think this spot right here is what I'm going to do. And I think that it would be wise to go in there with a really small drill bit first, so that I get the exact location on the inside of the car, because I can't do the hole saw. I don't think I can do the hole saw from this side. I think I got to do it from the other side. So that is what I'm going to do. And I hope it's the right decision. Well, that was kind of scary. Yep, that's gonna be good though. I'm gonna clean up the edge there a little bit, and then I'm gonna put the carbon fiber firewall on, and then I gotta drill a hole through that too. Okay, I got the wiring harness all through the firewall. It fits great. Gives me lots of possibilities on the inside of the car. So now I'm going to plug in all the sensors, all the ones that I can. All right, next up, we're going to tackle this steering angle problem, this shaft here. I've measured the angle from this here to there, and that's 40 degrees. And the manufacturer of these U-joints say that you shouldn't exceed 35 degrees. Now, because of the angle of the rack down there, that angle is only 20 degrees, so that's no problem. But this one here, it's 40 degrees, a little bit of an issue. So Speedway Motors hooked me up with this double joint, and this is good for up to 70 degrees. So it's a 1-inch double D on that end. That goes on to this I did it steering column. And then this is a 3/4 double D, and that goes onto the steering shaft. Now, once you put on a floppy thing like this, you lose some rigidity in the shaft, and you need to have a support. So I got this. So first thing I got to do is take that off and put the double U-joint on there, and then figure out what I'm going to do about mounting this somewhere in there. All right, so that's next up. Okay, now you can see I have the double U-joint in there, and it splits the angle between two U-joints instead of one. So now I need to make a support bearing to go in there, or not make a support bearing, I need to make a mount to hold the support bearing. So that means cutting and welding. Now kids, I know you all know this, but wear your safety equipment when you're using power tools like the big cutting tool that I'm about to use. Hearing protection, obviously. Eye protection, this one really important, because I personally have had a piece of metal dug out of my eye before from doing this very job, and it's not pleasant. No gloves, obviously. As a matter of fact, when I was a teenager, I was like 17 years old, I was chopping wood in flip-flops, and I missed, chopped off a toe. Actually, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you my chopped off toe. Yeah, right now. Yep, I used to have another toe right there. I know what you're thinking. I still have 5 toes, but I was born with 6 toes, so it kind of worked out for me. But you might not be so lucky, so wear your protection, all right, in all situations. Okay, so here's the bracket, and this is a really beefy support here, and I used 5/16 bolts, bolted right into the frame, so let's put that on and see how that works out. Okay, there it is, all bolted into place, Loctited, all good. The wheels turn back and forth, no problemo, there's no movement there, so I think that job is a good one. Okay, so that wraps it up for this video. obviously, I'm over 1,000 subscribers now. Actually, I've had 20 new subscribers in the last few days, which is very exciting. I don't know what I did to deserve that. But anyways, thanks, everybody, and we'll see you in the next one.